The film begins in 2003, where Sonia and her daughter, Claire, arrive at their mansion. Despite Claire's desire to see her father, Henry, her mother refuses due to his busy schedule. It is revealed that Henry works for Minus, a company designing escape rooms for survival games, with wealthy individuals betting on the outcomes. Sonia, dissatisfied with their relationship, confronts Henry in his office, leading to a tense conversation. Frustrated, Henry suggests taking a break, and Sonia, in response, goes for a swim and then enters the sauna. Unexpectedly, the sauna door locks, and the temperature rises, causing Sonia distress. Riddles appear on the steam door, indicating that Henry has initiated a deadly game. Despite panic, Sonia discovers a hidden magnet in the lava rocks, using it to unlock the metal bars. However, she succumbs to the heat while freeing the last bar, dying in the sauna. The story then shifts to the present day, introducing Zoe Davis and Ben Miller, survivors of a previous Minus escape room. They plan to expose the organization by flying to New York. Meanwhile, Claire, now working for Minus, enters the narrative, having grown up since the events in 2003. However, it appears that she is unwillingly trapped within a glass enclosure, compelled to craft escape rooms for her father. Henry's sinister intentions become evident, as he plans to eliminate the survivors from previous encounters. Claire vehemently opposes her father, drawing parallels between herself and Zoe, both having experienced the profound loss of their mothers. Despite Claire's plea, her father remains steadfast in his lethal determination. Meanwhile, Ben and Zoe prepare to board a flight, yet Zoe is haunted by PTSD from her mother's death in a plane crash years ago. Overwhelmed, she abruptly decides not to take the flight. Opting for an alternative, they rent a car and embark on a road trip. After hours of driving, they halt at a hotel for the night. At midnight, Ben experiences a harrowing nightmare, feeling the room shake and the ceiling closing in. Awakening in cold sweats, he and Zoe resume their journey, eventually arriving at the presumed Minus facility within an alley. They find no clear signs of the headquarters. Despite the ambiguity, Zoe urges Ben to explore the area. In the process, they encounter a local thug who snatches Zoe's sentimental necklace from her mother and escapes. Pursuing the thief through the streets and into a subway station, they find themselves trapped inside a train car as the thug eludes them. Faced with apparent hopelessness, the two decide to disembark at the next station and strategize their return to the ominous building. Shortly thereafter, Ben and Zoe detect an unusual presence in the train car, particularly strange noises. Concerned, they investigate the conductor's station, only to discover it empty. Suddenly, their train car uncouples from the others and is steered towards a distant station, lacking any means to halt its progress. Accompanying Zoe and Ben are 4 other passengers: Rachel, Brianna, Nathan, and Theo, all former survivors of an escape room. As the train grinds to a halt at a dead end, throwing everyone within, they realize they are once again entangled in Minus' deadly game. The train electrifies, prompting them to understand the gravity of their situation. Theo, eager to return for his wife's birthday, attempts to summon assistance by pressing a button, but all he receives is a pre-recorded message. Acknowledging that they must engage in the game to survive, the group disperses to search for clues. Nathan uncovers a concealed bag with a towel and a metal handle, while Brianna identifies a locked trapdoor. They soon learn that they need to collect alphabetical tokens for the conductor's slot machine to secure their escape. Additionally, they come across a sign proclaiming, "All false advertising must be pulled." In an effort to decipher its significance, they find various advertisements with missing alphabets. In a pivotal moment, Zoe realizes the connection between the 26 handles in the train and the 26 letters in the alphabet. Acting on this insight, they pull the corresponding handles for each missing letter, successfully unlocking the mechanism. This action initiates the retrieval of numerous coins from the handles, marking a crucial step in their quest for survival. As the electrification reaches its peak, Theo becomes its inaugural casualty, leading to his tragic demise. Amidst the singeing of their remaining clues, Zoe scrutinizes the collected letters and deciphers the phrase "Welcome back." She guides the group in acquiring the final tokens, placing them in the designated slot, and ultimately unlocking the trapdoor. Fortuitously, they swiftly descend as the train car succumbs to the surging electric currents. Upon their descent, they find themselves in an underground elevator. Rachel eagerly rushes to open the door to the next room, yet others propose a composed approach. In the ensuing exchange, they introduce themselves and share their respective backgrounds. Nathan reveals that his escape room team consisted solely of priests like himself, Brianna's comprised influencers, and Rachel's consisted of individuals incapable of experiencing physical pain. Following this brief interaction, the group proceeds to a room, which reveals itself as a bank. While exploring, Brianna unintentionally triggers a laser system by stepping on a tile, leaving her trapped. Luckily, Rachel and Nathan come to her aid, rescuing her from the precarious tile. They observe a closing vault on the opposite side, seemingly the exit. However, the challenge lies in discerning the correct tile pattern to reach it. With a mere 10 minutes left, the group embarks on a quest for clues. They discover a key concealed within a lollipop and attempt to use it in the safety deposit boxes, but their efforts prove futile. Zoe, however, identifies a safety box labeled Sonia instead of bearing numerical markings. Upon unfolding the document, she uncovers several blank bills, each concealing a discrete 4-digit code. Nathan promptly inputs this code into an ATM, prompting 4 wall clocks to exhibit disparate times. He meticulously correlates the clock readings with corresponding floor tiles, embarking on a trial route. Simultaneously, he strategically leaves a trail of lollipops for the rest of the group to follow. Encountering a moment of confusion, Nathan inadvertently steps on the incorrect tile, triggering a laser that knocks him to the ground. Brianna and Rachel swiftly intervene, lifting him off the triggering tile and deactivating the lasers. Racing against the clock with just a minute remaining, Zoe discovers a chart outlining the remaining tile pattern. She guides the group towards the exit, with Ben carrying the incapacitated Nathan. In the final seconds, Zoe makes a daring sprint, barely managing to enter the vault. Inside the vault, the group finds themselves in a cavern that begins to collapse. Urgently, they navigate towards the exit, arriving in a beach-like chamber. Without hesitation, they commence a search for clues, stumbling upon a metal detector. Utilizing the device, they pinpoint a reactive spot and commence digging. Unearthing an anchor, their progress is hindered as the beach reveals itself to be quicksand, engulfing Rachel. Witnessing her peril, Nathan selflessly dives into the sand, tying a rope around himself to lift her to safety. While they rescue Rachel, the rope snaps, and Nathan succumbs to the engulfing sand. Despite the tragic loss, the group presses on, seizing the anchor as a key to unlock a beach hut. Within the hut, they encounter a securely locked refrigerator, which they believe to be their exit. While searching for the key, Zoe activates a switch, transitioning the setting from daytime to night and illuminating a lighthouse outside. Zoe ascends to the lighthouse's summit in search of additional clues, while Ben discovers the refrigerator's key concealed within a mannequin. Swiftly passing the key to the women, they unlock the refrigerator door, revealing their escape route. Meanwhile, Zoe discovers an alternative exit by prying open one of the room's decors with the belief that it will lead them to escape the entire game. As the beach starts sinking, the group engages in a heated argument about which route to take. Ultimately, Rachel and Ben opt for the lighthouse, while Brianna chooses the main exit. Rachel successfully climbs to the top, but Ben fails as the ladder closes, causing him to fall into quicksand. Zoe, in shock, is convinced by Rachel to keep moving before it becomes too late. Subsequently, the duo reaches a manhole. Overwhelmed by her friend's death, Zoe begins blaming herself. Rachel consoles her, attributing the blame to Minus and emphasizing the need to stop Minus for their permanent freedom. Encouraged, Zoe agrees to continue, and they navigate through the manhole. Soon after, they discover a ladder that leads them to emerge into the city streets. Initially overjoyed, their happiness is short-lived when they encounter a panicked Brianna searching for a clue, leading them to the realization that they are still within the game. Brianna, having been there for a while, informs them that acid rain occurs when the timer reaches 0, and they must find a key to a rolling shutter. Despite locating the key, they face another obstacle with a set of locked doors. As the timer runs out, a sunshade miraculously appears to protect them. Simultaneously, they hear a phone booth ringing, but it remains inaccessible due to another lock. A news broadcast playing on a TV in the store provides a clue. They must collect the acid water to melt down the lock. The trio responds accordingly, successfully unlocking the phone booth, but they hear nothing. With insufficient clues to progress, Zoe steps off the booth in search of the next puzzle piece. Unfortunately, the timer runs out. Thankfully, Rachel throws her an umbrella while they both hide in the phone booth. Amidst the acid rain, Zoe notices an ad mentioning 3 rings and instructs them to answer the phone on the 3rd ring. Following her advice, the taxi door opens, providing Zoe with shelter from the acid. As the rain stops, Brianna and Rachel run to the cab, but its door closes. Unluckily, the phone booth also shuts, leaving them without any shelter. Despite their desperate attempts to find a way in, they are unsuccessful. As the timer runs out, Rachel accepts her fate, consoling Brianna. They hold each other as the acid rain melts them down. On the other hand, Zoe is transported right outside Claire's glass room. As Claire pleads for help in escaping, Zoe notices the blueprints of the escape room, realizing she's the designer. Infuriated, she accuses Claire of being a murderer. However, Claire reveals she was forced by her father and shows footage of Ben still alive. Claire also discloses a secret extractor tank under the quicksand to rescue him. Unfortunately, guards track him down and throw him into a final room, the sauna. Upon witnessing this, Zoe urges Claire to take action. Claire insists on solving another puzzle to get them out, mentioning only 2 chances left before the room's oxygen is cut off. Zoe helps decode the puzzle, unlocking the door. However, before they can escape, Henry appears, holding them at gunpoint. The atmosphere is fraught with tension, and it seems inevitable that the girls are facing imminent danger. In a critical moment, Claire's companion shoots Henry in the shoulder, allowing her to trap him within a glass room. Subsequently, the 2 girls proceed to the control room to take control of the sauna, preventing Ben from suffering a fiery fate. Having successfully averted disaster, Claire entrusts Zoe with her father's car, confirming the accuracy of the coordinates leading to Minus headquarters. She also discloses her intention to contact the police once Zoe reaches a safe distance. Upon Zoe's arrival at the headquarters, both police and paramedics are already on the scene. In her search for Ben, Zoe discovers him being loaded into an ambulance and reassures him that the perilous game is finally over, and everything will be alright. Meanwhile, Claire returns to converse with her father. Their dialogue unveils that Claire constructed the deadly sauna room and, shockingly, murdered her own mother solely to gain her father's approval. Expressing disappointment in how he claimed credit for her actions, Claire ultimately enters incorrect codes, severing the oxygen supply to the glass room.